What's next?
Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
Errol Spence Jr. back in the gym 3 days after TKOing Yordenis Ugas in 10. Subscribe.
Three days later, he already back in the gym, man. Nigga ain't taking no days off. What you doing, plug?
Wow, I mean, you see it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Errol Spence Jr. back in the gym 3 days after his big fight with Yordenis Ugas. This man is a shark for real, says one of the spectators in the gym who posted the video, friend of Errol Spence Jr. Now, you guys seen the clips at the beginning that I showed you. Errol Spence Jr., he looks like he's tunnel visioned out. I mean, I don't know what's gotten into him. I think possibly losing your life in a car crash, maybe it does something to you. And I've heard these stories and I've done a lot of reading where people have near-death experiences, and it's just, it flips a switch in you and your brain. I think you just ultimately get to see how precious life is and that you're here for a real reason. Like 50 Cent said, man, it's clear that I'm here for a real reason, because he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't effing breathing. Many men wished upon me, blood in my eye, dog. Hey, you gotta do something, baby. It's clear that Errol's here for a real reason, and he's not gonna waste or squander this opportunity. You love to see it. Now, I looked at my YouTube analytics in the last 30 days, and it showed me something. 50% of the people that viewed my content for the month of March hit the subscribe button. The other 50% did not. This is your one-stop shop for all your boxing needs. I am the best in boxing history when it comes to covering boxing in the digital space. So hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing. I cover all things boxing, such as Errol Spence and, you know, all the superstars of boxing. Real happy that Errol Spence Jr. is grabbing the bull by the horns and really like staying ready so you don't have to get ready. As Sugar Free would say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And this is amazing. Now, you also heard at the beginning of this video that Errol Spence Jr., hey, stop that cat, man down. He called out Terence Crawford. Not only did he call him out in his post-fight interview with Jim Gray, but he's been calling him out aggressively through various posts. He actually has, and I made videos about it. This is why you guys, again, got to subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. He posted a limited edition run of some shirts where it's a shark. He calls himself Big Fish. He used the shark emoji like Jaws. Dun, 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 doo-loo, doo-loo. And he's walking down the hallway and he's like the Grim Reaper with the scythe, and he's knocking on the various doors. One said Kell Brook, one says Sean Porter, one says Yordenis Ugas. Those represent the 3 belts he's already collected. In the Kell Brook, so basically, so realistically, in my fight with Errol, I hit him with a chocolate right hand brownie who withstood the pressure. Errol Spence broke Kell Brook down in the end, forcing a stoppage. in Kell Brook's backyard for the IBF title. Then he went on and came back hometown fight. Well, actually, he's from New York, so I guess it's kind of a hometown fight. But he's originally from New York. He had a fight with a guy he sparred in Olympic Training Center, Lamont Peterson. Later fought Ocampo. But then he came back after the Mikey Garcia fight, unified with Sean Porter, who had the WBC belt at the time. Dropped Sean Porter in an all-out kind of slugfest. And then fast forward to this past weekend, Saturday, Errol Spence beat Cuba's Yordenis Ugas, who, you know, Yordenis Ugas, he rebuilt his whole career. You got to give him a lot of props. Yordenis Ugas is a true warrior of the sport. He didn't make a bunch of excuses. He didn't seem like sour grapes. He just said the better man won. I, wanted the victory. I was hoping I could get the victory, but we came up short, and I could respect that. His face looks really broken and beat down right now. I've made videos about that, so you guys can check those on the channel, where his injuries sustained from the heavy hands of Errol Spence Jr., they're pretty shocking to look at. So I wish him a speedy recovery as he comes back to the sport, after some time rested. Now, I do think Yordenis Ugas, he's still a player in the division. I would like to see him fight maybe a Danny Garcia, something like that. Or even, I wouldn't personally, if I was Ugas's people, I wouldn't say this next, but maybe if he gets some wins, then fight Jaron Boots Ennis. The reason I say that is because I think Jaron Boots Ennis is the real deal. I think he's a beast. And if you just went through one grueling fight and coming off a loss, I don't know if I would recommend you fight a prospect who's huge and big for the division, comes to knock you out. That's just a lot of, you got to rest your body. So I think you should take more of a different type of fight, I guess you could say. So back to Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. $1 million question. Will that fight happen? I guess we have to wait and see and find out. A lot of people are almost celebrating it because of the call out and because Errol Spence has been a lot more vocal after doing what he said he was going to do, which is to collect the belts and earn his keep, build his reputation and brand by beating and destroying all the people on his side and then moving on and, clean up his side of the street. And I don't understand a lot of the boxing fans, to be frank. Boxing fans, they act like Errol Spence was ducking, as if Errol Spence is the one that didn't come through with everything he said he was going to do. And it looks rather foolish to me. Errol Spence, he's been a man of his word. He said, I'm going to fight PACQUIAO Ugas winner. Last Saturday, he fought the winner of PACQUIAO Ugas, which was Yordenis Ugas, as I just mentioned earlier in this video. He said, I don't need no tune-up. I was in a car wreck. Everybody want me to take a tune-up. Danny Garcia, that's my tune-up. I need something that's going to motivate me. He fought Danny Garcia with no tune-up. He fought Ugas with no tune-up. But yet and still, you have the usual suspects and the man fans acting like Errol Spence is the one not willing to challenge himself. And it just sounds foolish, because how is the person who individually collected 3 different belts from 3 different champions, how on earth are people trying to make it look like he's the one that's being mismanaged or, fed bad advice, while Crawford became a champion at welterweight? His first fight versus a guy, Jeff Horn, that I really didn't think even beat Manny Pacquiao, if we're being honest. And I'm not the only one with that sentiment. Teddy Atlas was ranting on ESPN during the live broadcast and live taping, saying he didn't think that Pacquiao should have lost to Jeff Horn. And then that's Crawford's only champion that he's fought. Like when he fought him, they were champion. Yeah, Kell Brook, Sean Porter, former champions, but they were a couple years removed from being champions. Sean Porter, he said that he had arthritis and he knew he was retiring, win, lose, or draw, after the Crawford fight. So it sounded like kind of a cash out fight, right? Kenny Porter also did interviews and said, I seen how Sean was looking. He wasn't trying. He wasn't listening to me. He wasn't training like I know he knows how to. So that's why I threw the towel in. And a lot of people were like, why do you throw the towel in? There's your answer. So Kell Brook, he fired Eddie Hearn, fired his longtime trainer Dominic Ingle for the Crawford fight. That's what made it look suspect. And then he got pieced up by Crawford. He was really winning the first 2 rounds. And then Kell Brook all of a sudden get hit with a shot and then falls into the ropes, and then he packs it in. But then when he fought Amir Khan more recently, he's back with Dominic Ingle. So what would make Kell Brook leave Dominic Ingle for the best name of his career, or one of them, in Terence Crawford, only to reunite? Why didn't Dominic Ingle, longtime trainer of Kell Brook, train him for that fight, but train him for the Amir Khan fight, which was a bad blood British type of, domestic level rivalry? These are the questions you got to ask. But back to Errol Spence. He's back in the gym training, looks disciplined, looks focused. I can't wait to see this, and I love to see this from Errol Spence. And on my channel, I'm always going to praise and give credit where credit's due. People kick you when you're down. When Errol Spence's face was looking puffy, or he's looking heavier than the walk-around weight, if he appeared to be inebriated, people always talked about this. But now Errol Spence looks focused, family-oriented, and on a mission, and doing what the fans said they wanted, which is calling out Crawford and all that. Now everybody's gone quiet, except for me. Funny how that works. Shout out to Errol Spence for it. Dedication, discipline, being back in the gym. Hard work, dedication. Subscribe to my channel, I'm the best. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready, with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.